So here I want to look at the last sentence in the last paragraph of Hofstadter's chapter in The Age of Reform, chapter 5, The Progressive Impulse. And I want to highlight this final sentence here, which is this one here. For besides such material accomplishment as they had to show for themselves, the progressive writers could claim that they had provided a large part of the American people with a necessary, and as they would have said, wholesome catharsis. Now, this is a really good final sentence because it's not overly long, but it does sum up the preceding paragraph and in fact the whole chapter. But it does more than that. As well as summing it up, it actually provides a certain interpretation. It tells us what it all adds up to, what it all means. So what, who cares? Why does this matter? So Hofstadter here is telling us that besides the material accomplishment that progressives have made, they had also provided a large section of the American people with a sort of outlet for their worries or their woes or their misgivings and their resentments. So he's saying that it was material, yes, but there was also something which was a certain catharsis that was provided by the progressive movement, a way of getting rid of all of their angst. So this is really important to, if you want to provide if we want to get an upper second or first in our essays or do really well in our dissertation, we always, or publish our papers, we always need to provide a level of interpretation, to take a position, to explain to the reader what we think it all means. And as long as that is kind of supported by the preceding information and material and evidence that we provided, then whether or not the reader agrees with us shouldn't make any difference. As long as we can support our position, it's fine. But it is really important to provide a level of interpretation, a certain, what it all adds up to for the reader to kind of demonstrate our understanding as much as anything else. But I also really I want to call attention to this fact, this word catharsis. And I think this is a really good word selection here from Hofstadter because it reflects, or it kind of refers back to the title of the chapter, which, if you remember, was The Progressive Impulse. So we have two kind of, two words that are sort of charged with energy that to begin and to end the chapter. So impulse is a kind of an energy and catharsis is a way of getting rid of that impulse. So I think there's a great coherence here between the title of the chapter and the way that Hofstadter concludes it with this selection of this word here, catharsis. So I think we can learn an awful lot from this final sentence, even as to how to finish a piece of work and to give it real memorable impact, and also to provide a certain level of interpretation.